Can we CNC plasma cut this piece of aluminum with a water table? So the piece that is on the machine right now is just a test piece. It's a piece that I cut out already, and I'm just going to cut a lot of circles in it just to see what kind of feeds and speeds I can get out of plasma cutting that type of aluminum. But I'm actually going to cut real parts out of these big pieces of aluminum. That is just my test piece. So this is 5052 H32 aluminum. So the big problem with plasma cutting aluminum is the lithium alloys. As far as I know, this is from the information that I interpret from an ESOB website, and they were just talking about plasma cutting aluminum in the presence of water. So a water table that I have. So basically, this has no lithium in it, and if it did, it could not be cut in the presence of water because it could cause an explosion. Aluminum lithium alloys should always be dry cut, so without a water table. However, there still can be problems cutting aluminum without lithium alloys, even with a water table. So when the plasma cutter arc happens and it starts cutting the aluminum, small hydrogen gas bubbles can form in the water. But that is only if it is submerged under the water. So basically, I guess there's some plasma cutters that you can submerge the plate underwater, whatever you're cutting. And if you do that with aluminum, the hydrogen gas bubbles can get caught underneath of the aluminum plate, and if you leave it there over a certain amount of time, more hydrogen gas bubbles can form, and then when you arc it again, that's when the explosion can happen and it can possibly kill you. Hydrogen gas explosions are very dangerous. At least that's what my chemistry teacher in high school told us. But anyway, so we will not be submerging these plates underwater, so we should not have that problem at all. That doesn't mean hydrogen bubbles can't form in the water somewhere, so we're just going to basically almost swish the water around afterwards to see if we can dissipate the small amount of hydrogen gas that it may form. It should not form at all, however. Also, the razor weld cut 45 that I have, my plasma cutter, I read the manual and it says it it will cut aluminum. So we should be good to go as far as I know. Still kind of scary. So not the best circle there. I think it heated up way too fast, and I wasn't moving fast enough because there's a decent amount of slag on the bottom side. So I'm going to bump this up. That was at 15 inches a minute. The next one I'm going to do is at 45 inches per minute. We're getting a little bit better. There's still a lot of slag. I turned up the amps a little bit to about 40 amps. And that's pretty much where I'm going to top out at. I'm just going to start moving a lot faster now. So this was the last hole right there. That was at about 53 inches a minute. Basically, I just overrode the feed rate and turned it up to 53.5. So I'm going to move at about 55 inches a minute when I start cutting out my parts. But that wasn't too bad. The slag on the back looks a little odd. I mean, that's an easy cleanup, really easy cleanup for aluminum and the belt grinder over there. But it looks okay. Now I have this thing loaded up, ready to go. And before we start, these are parts for my Mustang. They're just cosmetic parts to cover up stuff. I'll actually show a picture at the end of everything when we get these mounted in the Mustang, maybe. But I really want to show how I designed these parts, because basically I just took a picture with a measuring tape in the picture to scale the picture once I got it in Fusion 360, and then I just traced around the contours that I wanted. It's pretty sweet. I'll show that after we're done here with all this cool stuff. So it started doing something weird. It's actually really hard to tell in the video, but it started doing something weird here, and it started like jumping. The torch started jumping. And I think it's because I didn't have smoothing on, so it wanted to like jump from node to node as it was trying to round out this arc right here. So we turn smoothing on in Fusion 360, and hopefully that solves the problem. there you go. Stuff can be cut out on the CNC plasma cutter with water table. I know there are been some guys out there saying that you can't do it or you'll blow up or something like that, but you can do it if you have the right means to do it and you actually do the research yourself. Don't rely on me or whatever. I just did it to test it. Actually, no, that I didn't really test it. This is an actual part that I'm going to use. This is only 40 thousandths thick, by the way, so it's nothing huge or anything like that, but I know that it can work now, and I know that I won't explode myself. Well, hopefully not. So I have one more part to do, and then we will be good to go, and I want to show the Fusion 360 on how I came up with these parts. Before I start off here, I just want you to know that if you in any way want to support me, there is an Amazon link below, and if you do any Amazon shopping, you can click that link. It'll take you to the headphones that you always see me wearing, but after that you can do your regular shopping and you can get whatever you want, and it'll just help me out a little bit. Amazon gives me like some type of percentage of whatever you buy, and it's no extra cost to you. So if you ever want to get anything on Amazon, then use that link first if you want to help me out. That would be sweet. So anyway, back into the Fusion here. This is the firewall of the Mustang. We want to cover this hole, this hole, this hole right here. And we want to profile out around this little contour, if you can follow the mouse there. There was one time I had a professor in college, and he said that people would go to like airplane shows and they would try to steal how parts were designed. Basically, these people would wear gridded shirts, and this grid on the shirt had a specific scale to it. And they would take pictures of the part next to their shirt. And then they would take those pictures and they would put them into some type of computer-aided design software like Fusion and basically redesign the part to the scale that their shirt was. So this is kind of the same exact way we're doing here, but a little bit more deliberate because I put a tape measure here. So I used this tape measure and got the scale for this picture. And then basically I added this contour here. And I went in to make the sketch around that contour. And then that's pretty much how I came up with this solid model right here. It lines the contour of where we want. And that's, I mean, it's super simple. That's basically how I did the whole thing. And I've done it plenty of times before, and it works out pretty good every single time. Just make sure you get your picture straight onto the part that you want to mimic or model your part after. So basically, I just want you guys to know that this type of thing is out there and you can do it really easily. So that's what I do. I do this a lot. So that's it. That's the part. And that's how it came out there. I mean, it looks pretty good and it's almost exactly to the size that I want it to be. So we'll see what happens when we put it on the car. So I think that's it for now. So thanks for watching.